How many of you would like to be successful? And I mean, really want to be successful. I understand success look and means something different to everybody. For some of you, success is finding ways to bring your family closer. For others, it's raising their kids up right. For some of you, success is being able to put yourself in position to go on vacation 2 or 3 times a year. For some of you, success is finding ways to move up that corporate ladder. For others, it's starting their own business. So to me, success look and means something different to everybody. So I'm going to pose that question again. How many of you really want to be successful? And I mean really want to be successful. But in order to be successful, you got to be willing to give up things. You got to be willing to do things. You got to be willing to go through things to ensure that you're successful. What if I told you by you becoming successful will ultimately help your kids become successful? That would ultimately help your grandkids become successful. But what if I told you it all started with you? Let me change the scenery a little bit. What if I told you by you not doing everything that you have to do today will ultimately cost you your sight tomorrow? I mean total darkness. What wouldn't you be willing to do? What wouldn't you be willing to go through? What wouldn't you be willing to give up to ensure that you have sight tomorrow? What if I told you that you had to go apologize to somebody that hurt you? Would you be willing to do that to keep your sight? What if I told you that you had to get up at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock for the next year to ensure that the next day that you had sight? Would you be willing to do that? What if I told you that you'd walk up and down the street with holes in your clothes and people laughing at you? Would you be willing to do that to keep your sight? What if I told you by you not doing everything that you have to do in order to keep your sight would ultimately cost your kids theirs? That would ultimately cost your grandkids theirs. But what if I told you it all started with you? What if I told you that was still talking about success? Let me give you a brief story. When I graduated from high school, it was some of the darkest moments of my life. My daddy was in jail 5 years, serving an 18-year sentence. That ain't including the time he was in and out of jail through the early parts of my life. My mama addicted to gambling. At times I didn't see her for weeks and months in. On top of that, I had 2 little brothers and a sister that I had to feed. I'm pushing cans and bottles to the recycle center just for us to have cup of noodles and Tyromies to eat. But on top of all that, I couldn't read. But me learning how to read was me being successful. So I dedicated 2.5 years, 3 hours a day to ensure that I could read. Not only did me teaching myself how to read help me learn how to read, it ultimately helped me go back to get my bachelor's degree. And not only did it help me go get my bachelor's degree, it helped me come back and teach my little brother how to read. Now it's helping me teach my nephew how to read. But it all started back with me just making the decision to teach myself how to read. In some of the darkest moments of my life, I found the way to shine. In some of the darkest moments of my life, I became a star. And a lot of you don't understand, in order to see a star, it must be dark out. And the reason why a lot of you won't be successful It's not because you don't have it in you. It's not because of the government. It's not because of the school systems. It's not because of your kids. It's not because of your job. It's because when it gets dark in your life, you don't come out and shine. I'm going to tell you that you have everything that you need to be successful. You just have to be willing to do things. You're going to have to be willing to give up things. You just have to be willing to go through things to ensure that you're successful. I'm going to tell you that sight is in front of you. You just got to open your eyes up and see it.